I think we can all agree that if the phrase U-turn was an episode, it would be episode 4 of The God of High School. Because what? Hey guys, so we're back for the review of episode 4 of The God of High School. So the wait was long. It was really long for me. I wasn't so psyched at the end of this episode. I'm gonna tell you guys the truth. This episode caught me off guard. Like, right now we don't even need the recap of episode 3 because it left us with a lot of questions and none of them were answered in episode 4, so we don't need that right now. So let's get into episode 4. So the episode starts off and we're seeing what looks like a webtoon. To me, I thought I clicked on the wrong site there, but it's just the announcers talking about the people that are left. We're just in episode 4 and the tournament is almost over with just 4 contestants left. That leaves us with Han Dewi, Jin Mori, Yumira, and this new guy who apparently is a badass because he got to this point. His name is Byeon Jae-hee or Jae-hee? I don't know. Let's call him Byeon. So his name is Byeon and he does jujitsu. Okay, he does jujitsu. So there's just 4 of them left and they're gonna be paired to fight in the semifinals. So first off, we're gonna have Yomira and Han Dewi. That is, at first I was like, oh, they're friends. Are they really gonna get into it? But I don't know. We'll see. And as the episode went on, they showed the 3 friends, that's Han, Mori, and Mira, just talking on the streets, and Han says she's going to beat Han, and then Han replies sarcastically but with a straight face because he's a cool guy. He says, go gentle with me. I think that's what he said. Anyway, he says that and they keep going and Mori starts ranting because he's such a child and he's cute. Anyway, they're walking down the streets and we see this guy spying on them, and then we realize that he's just spying on Mira. And this purple-haired Rolls-Royce guy pulls up with the smoothest pickup line ever. I just realized that my life's purpose is to meet you. I mean, like, come on, dude. Anyway, he comes and he proposes to Mira, and everyone is shocked. Like, what? Is that how they do it? Okay. So in the next scene, Mira is picking a dress and we can see that she's not so psyched about this wedding. She's still a student. She doesn't want anything fancy. It's just a ceremony, she says. So she's just taking it. At this point, I don't know why she's marrying this guy because she doesn't love him, clearly. I don't know. So her niece is so excited. She can't believe that she's marrying Song Jin, the business tycoon who represents the sports entertainment industry in the entire country. Like, how did this guy just pop out of nowhere and want to marry Mira? Where are you from, my G? He wants to marry a student. She's a high school student. I don't like this guy already. And apparently he is the strongest, most gorgeous martial artist there is. Her niece says, oh, obviously she's a fan. So in the next scene, we see Song Jin come to convince Mira to marry him. And he does this by appealing to the side of her that really loves her sword style, the moonlight sword style that she had been trying to uplift and grow all her life. He comes and says he doesn't understand why such a style has been buried for so long, and he's going to make it global. He's going to give the sword style and Mira the shine that they deserve. And he says, at this point, he says that he's the only one that can give it to her. And I don't understand why he would say that. He seems evil to me. So after that scene, Mira starts to remember her dad at his funeral. There were people there just mocking him that he clinged to the sword style and yeah, he deserved what he got. So her uncle comes and he says he's going to protect the legacy. He's going to protect the moonlight sword style that her dad left behind. And he takes her, and even though he is determined and he actually wants to help, he has a good heart, he is weak. And the students he gets, they even beat him up. He's so weak. So Mira has to carry this all on her shoulders. She has to do this herself, and It's really sad, really. So in the next scene, Sung Jin comes to talk to Mira's uncle, and her uncle is basically asking him why he's interested in Mira, why he wants to marry her, and all he says is she's a diamond in the rough, and he has a plan to uplift the sword style and make it recognized globally. Basically just throws it in his face that he's going to accomplish everything that both him and Mira's dad couldn't accomplish. Just throws it in his face, and just this episode is filled with sadness. So after that, we see Mori at a fast food restaurant that looks like KFC. He's trying to decide which burger to get, and there's a line behind him still trying to decide. And then these high school girls behind Mori who start talking about how Sung Jin has chosen a high school girl to get married to, how she's in the tournament, and her name is Mira. And then Mori hears it, and he goes off to Mira's house. He apparently got her address from HQ. Like, they just give out people's addresses. Anyway, he goes there to convince her to cancel the marriage, to basically tell her that it's a bad idea. From that, he learns that she actually doesn't love him, and she's only doing it for the Moonlight Sword style. She believes that this is the one way to uplift her dad's legacy. She basically tells him that it's none of his business, and he should get the fuck out. So Mori goes out and he calls Han, and Han kind of dismisses him because it really is none of his business, and tells him not to butt into people's lives. And then Mori says that Mira doesn't seem happy, and clearly we can all see that she is not happy with this engagement or entanglement. She is not happy about this entanglement. So yeah, Mori is right on that one. She isn't happy. So Han tells Mori that it's none of his business and he shouldn't butt into people's lives, and he just ends the call. Rude. So in the next scene, we see that Mira is getting dressed for her wedding, and again her is so excited, checking that everything is perfect. And then we see her uncle behind her just watching, and there's this flashback. He remembers growing up with her. She wasn't interested in all these girly things, shopping, dress up, new clothes. She wasn't like other girls, and seeing her now with this wedding dress, preparing for a wedding as a high schooler, and it just doesn't sit right with him. And so he goes to Sung Jin, and with all due respect, he speaks to him. He's like, sorry, but he has to call off the wedding because he has now realized that Mira made this decision rashly. Like, all she's thinking about is the sword style, and she feels like this is the only way she can save it, but this is not her at all. This is not what she wants. And then Mira just comes and says that it's okay, it's all right, daijoubu. I don't know why I just said that. And she says that her dreams are being realized, that with Sung Jin's power and reputation, the Moonlight Sword style will change completely. It'll be recognized globally. Everything is gonna fall into place, and the legacy will be saved. She mentions that she's basically tells everyone that she is doing this just to save the Moonlight Sword style, and Sung Jin reinforces that by telling her to take the world, and he's going to give her everything that she has given up on, and she says that she will. And her uncle and her look at her like, oh no, this isn't the Mira we know. And the excited little girl now realizes what is going on, and she sees that it was a bad idea all along. So in the next scene, we see Mira and Mori sitting out, I think, in front of the wedding venue, and she's crying and she's saying she didn't understand anything, that Mira isn't happy, she just wants her to be happy. And Mori is like, oh, come on, let's go crash this wedding. He doesn't say that, but that's what happens. They go in, and then there are these bodyguards at the door, and then they say if you don't have an invitation, you can't come in. Of course, Mori didn't get an invitation because Mira knew he would try to crash the wedding. So Mori tries to get in anyways, and they just keep pushing him back, and he's like, he can't use his taekwondo on these guys. And at this point, we see that Mori is a badass. He knows that he's a badass, and he will probably kill these guys if he uses his taekwondo on them. So let's avoid casualties here, guys. So we finally see the revelation, the reason why he wants to marry Mira. Apparently, he is part of the cult we saw in episode 2, and he was told to obtain the sword that can rule God himself, and the hand, that's Mira, that controls it. Oh my god. Sung Jin is a member of the cult, and he's so powerful and so influential. You can imagine the kind of members they have in that cult, and how much influence they hold in the country. It's kind of scary. So at that point, we see that Mori is still struggling with the bodyguards at the door, and then they try to hit him with the stick. But then Han shows up. Of course, he wasn't gonna leave his friend. He's so sweet. Anyway, he shows up and he blocks the stick. And then he pushes the guy. He pushes one guy and he flies up to the other 5 guys behind and they all fall down. And then Mori's looking at him like, whoa. And he's like, that was just a little push. Oh my god, I love him. He's so humble. And then they beat up all the guys. And then we see what is probably the coolest scene in this episode. Mori and Han burst in through the doors, and then one of them is pushing his collar and the other one is fixing his cuffs, and they're like, Mira, stop this shit. This ain't you. And then Sungjin realizes that his bodyguards aren't good for shit. So he decides to fight them himself, and then someone brings him his sword and he jumps up in the air, and Han immediately puts his hand and he gets cut and he's bleeding, and Mori rushes over to Mira. Mori goes up to her. He's trying to convince her not to get married to Sungjin and tells her that is this what she wanted? This is what she wanted to do? That she's worked so hard, she's come so far in the tournament, she can't give up now. Apparently she decided to give up on the tournament to get married. So Mori's trying to convince her otherwise and just tells her that she shouldn't do this, and then she starts throwing punches at him, and then he tells her that she's strong, and then one of her punches hits her uncle and he falls down, and then she has this flashback. She starts thinking of her dad. She remembers her dad. We saw him slice through a leaf with his sword, and it's just so cute because she has worked so hard and she's given up so much to get to where she is right now, and to see her give all that up for this so-called easy way to holding up the legacy, it was just so sad. It was just so bad, and everyone wanted to stop that. So at the end of that whole speech, Mori tells her it's not so hard, just do what you want. And then she has this epiphany and she goes and she's like, she wants to stop the wedding. And then purple-haired Rolls Royce guy throws a fit, and this thing comes out again, what people are calling Stands from JoJo, pops up again looking like a samurai and tries to kill all of them. The building starts rumbling, people are running away. He charges at Mira, and then Mira stops his sword and gives him what looks to us like a simple hit and knocks him out, which just, I don't know about the power differences in this anime, because you see this guy with this powerful thing and he was taking out so easily, like the guy in the tournament with Mori, the green-haired guy from episode 3. So I don't know about this thing. Do they just give it to weak guys, or I don't understand why they're so easily taken out. He kind of cuts Mira's right side a bit, so she has an injury over there. So at the end of all that, we see the purple-haired Rolls Royce guy get away with the wooden sword, and we're kind of worried, even though Mira says that she doesn't need it, that there's more to the sword. I guess that's kind of true, considering that she took out Mamisun with just her hands. But what if the sword is actually what they say it is, like the sword that can rule God himself? What if it's that and she doesn't know? We're still worried even though she says that, but anyways, we'll get to find that in further episodes. And then we get a glimpse of the trail. Best friends for life, or so it seems. At this point, it's all hit and run from here, because every scene after this just hits you in the face like boom, pass, boom, pass, boom, pass. We see Han at the hospital. His friend is in intensive care. Apparently, he is not awake. And at this point, Han has lost it. We see him next at his business place, and these bullies come up again. And this time, he's not taking shit from nobody. He beats them bloody. He beats them down and he walks away. They deserved that, but seeing it come from Han, this sweet guy, this humble guy, this kind-hearted guy, it just didn't sit right with me at that point. They needed the beating, but not from him. And then after that, we see Jin Mori. He's late for the tournament. That's the fight between Mira and Han. He opens the door wide open and he sees Han just going at it. He's not holding back. He's targeting Mira's wounds. He is so determined to win now. He doesn't even, I don't think he even considers them as friends anymore. Like, all he wants to get is the money to just pay for his friend's treatment and just get it done with. Friendship isn't in it for him. It's not the most important thing to him right now. And from the way Mori looks, it is the opposite. Friendship is more important than the tournament to him. And Han's behavior at this point just makes me completely sad, because there is a complete U-turn in this character. This anime at this point quickly just goes from a combat anime to a character development anime, and it took me off guard. Anyway, after that fight, we see Mori just waiting in the hallway, and then Han passes by with this towel over his head, and he's like, "See you in the finals." And that is one fight to look forward to. Oh my god. That is something to look forward to, and the episode just ends there. My god. The scenes in this episode are so captivating that you don't even realize when it's coming to an end. You don't realize when 20 minutes have gone by. Every scene just catches you, and you just keep watching until you see the GOH at the end. This episode was something else. It was completely different from what we were used to in the first 3 episodes of this anime. There wasn't much fighting done here. This episode completely took me off guard. There was a hard neck-breaking U-turn at that point, and I don't know what is going on with Han. He has clearly snapped. A lot of people are saying that this episode was rushed, and it actually is, but seeing what the producers have done with the other 3 episodes and their meticulous attention to detail, I think the hardness was on purpose, actually, because the way the scenes caught you off guard, the way they were so rushed, they won't hit you that hard if they weren't rushed. It wouldn't, like, we went from, oh my god, Han's friend is dying, to oh my god, he beat those guys bloody, oh my god, he's beating Mira, oh my god, Han and Mori's fight. They have to keep hitting you so you can feel the impact. So I understand why they did it that way. That is a genius move from the producers. That is a big thumbs up from me. All in all, this episode was amazing. I am so sad to see Han that way. I hope that Mori can somehow turn him back. He's falling to the dark side. I hope that Park Machine doesn't get him. The producers were so wise to take this from like the cliche and usual and predictable, oh, we're gonna be best friends forever, to this unpredictable, fast-paced, boom, in your face U-turn, and I think everyone was caught off guard, and that is some good production work, and I loved it. I'm sad, but I loved it. And that is the end of this review video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. You guys should tell me what you thought about the episode. If you have any controversial views about the episode, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye. Wait. Click that subscribe button. Do it. I'm waiting. Have you done it? Click it.